Good evening, this is Stormcastle, and today I want to talk about a book, and this is one of my longer story about why a book's important to me. The book today is Luke Cage Power Man, number 21. This is from July 16th, 1974. The story is called The Killer with My Name. The cover artist is Ron Wilson, with Frank Giacoia doing the inking for it. Len Wein and Jenny Blake Isabella are for the story and writer credits. Ron Wilson is the interior penciler, with Vince Colletta doing inking. Stan Goldberg is a colorist, and Tom Orzechowski is the letterer, with Roy Thomas as the editor. And the reason why this book is important to me is I've talked about how I got those Avengers books. They were given to me a long time ago, and how those were, very important. I enjoyed the books, showed off Avengers 98 and talked about it. And I also got a bunch of Defenders books that I also enjoyed, which is where that, but there was a third series in there. It was Luke Cage Hero for Hire, and which became Luke Cage Power Man, and then eventually became Power Man Iron Fist. I had I had the first issue, issue 1, 2, 3, had most of the first 16 issues. I think I had like 14 of them, and then I had probably 90 to 95% of the books to issue 52, where I had 50, 51, and 52, where it becomes Power Man and Iron Fist. And so, and I honestly didn't know who Luke Cage was. I didn't know who Power Man was. I didn't know who this Power Man was, because he appeared in old Avengers books than I had, and I knew nothing about him. And I was new to the comics. This was like 1984, so 41 years ago. I had just been collecting for a few months. Probably, I want to say it was like January or February when I was getting all these books, and I went through them and read all of them, and I have some real fond memories from when I was a kid. And this book is complete. This has the Marvel value stamp right over here. It's the Kingpin. Some of the books I got, some of the Avengers, the Defenders, and some of the Power Man book, the Luke Cage books, some of them did have Marvel value stamps taken out. And I was at an indoor flea market today, and I saw this, and I am rereading all the Avengers on the Marvel Comics app, which was really enjoyable, and been reading the stuff Power Man, and I just recently got those Avengers, which I did videos. Got the signed copy for my birthday, and so made me very happy to have. And I saw this, and I was like, you know what, I need to put this back into my collection. Yeah, it's a little beaten up, but I mean, it is a 51-year-old book. I mean, honestly, I'm a 55-year-old person, and I'm not exactly a 9.8, or hell, more like if I'm lucky, I'm a 6.0. But these were just some good stories. I liked the writing. I enjoyed some of these things. I mean, yeah, Luke Cage, he looks ridiculous now, that outfit. But that's because this is 2025. But this is some good art. These were always very good stories. Talk about Claire Temple. I looked at it, I'm like, I remember that doctor. I'm going to honestly probably hunt down most of these books and put them back in my collection, just because I would like to have them all again. There's also a great 2 issues with Doctor Doom, and a great Doctor Doom cover. I remember I've been looking at recently, and honestly, it's a good bit of story work. Some great bit here. The fight scene is pretty awesome. Guy sandbags Luke Cage, literally. And there's this great, he smacks him around as Luke finds a little girl and tries to save her. he hits him with the lights in the old theater. And then, Luke's like, hey, there's a little kid here, and Power Man is like, oh, I don't care, let the little kid can die, and takes running at him, and there is this great action scene, right? Ba-choom, which is really kind of cool. It's some good art, and honestly, I didn't know anything about him, and then, of course, there's always the final punch. It's a pretty good book. It was a pretty good series. And there are a lot of people who like him. Atlas. And I believe he went to jail, but honestly, he should. He was a bad person. We forget about it now, but he worked for Baron Zemo, who was literally, literally was a Yahtzee, because you can't say the other word on YouTube. I mean, honestly, that's what he is. He worked for Zemo. He was a loyalist and believed in the things, and so people forget that these days. But, I mean, that's some good work there. Stiletto returns. This time he's not alone. But yeah, this is some good stuff. There's some fun reading, and I'm gonna do my best to try to put together some of these, because honestly, I enjoyed them, and I just wanted to show this to you. But I have fond memories of reading these Luke Cage Power Man. I still wasn't a fan of him, even though I had most of his first appearances. Like I said, 90% of the first 52 issues. I still didn't want him on my Avengers team. I kind of liked the idea of more of a Luke. I didn't really like Spider-Man or Wolverine on the team either. So I always thought more of like a street level sets of heroes. I mean, he was a defender. He was one of the defenders. He worked with Doctor Strange. Anyways, that's Stormcastle. I've rambled on long enough. If you liked the video, please, give me a like, comment if you have any memories of these, and if you haven't subscribed and you like looking at the kind of content I have, I'd really appreciate it, and share the video with your friends. But I've rambled on long enough. Anyways, Stormcastle, have a good one.